Good day, JPN. So for today's lesson, we will going to talk about the statement of financial position. So without further ado, let's get started. For financial statements are the used structured representations of an entity's financial position and results of its operation. It is according to PAS 1.9. Dito, laman niya yung yung financial informations ng isang company during the whole accounting period, while its general purpose are those intended to meet the needs of users who are not in the position to require an entity to prepare reports tailored to their particular information needs according to PAS 1.7. Okay, so we have two types of users, kagaya nga nung napag-aralan natin nung senior high. It's either internal or external users. So, for the general purpose ng financial statements, yung sa external users yon, they provide the need for assessment for financial performance, position, liquidity, solvency, at sila yung mga lenders, creditors, investors, government agency, tsaka yung sa public. Kapag naman special purpose, those statements that are particularly tailored for specific needs of the users requesting the FS. So sila naman yung internal users. Hindi lang FS, kumbaga yung FS pinag-aaralan pa nila tapos ini-interpret mo pa. Analysis ng lahat ng bagay para sa top management or middle management na to know how to deal with problems. Para dun sa dalawang objective ng financial statement, una, yung primary objective, it is to provide information about the financial position, financial performance, and cash flows of an entity that is useful to a wide range of users in making economic decisions. So, primary objective ng FS is to make relevant information para sa external users, such as lenders, creditors, and other stakeholders. Ginagamit nila yung FS para sa decision making na gagawin nila. For example, sa lenders, kung pauutangin pa ba nila yung company or hindi na. For the secondary objective, it is to show the results of management's stewardship over the entity's resources. Secondary objective ng FS is for the management's internal purposes. Ginagamit nila yung FS para ma-evaluate yung capacity ng firm to earn. Also, ginagamit din ito sa decision making sa company if they need to acquire new asset or need to pay their liabilities. Yung FS din yung nagiging basis regarding sa financial condition ng isang company. So, yan yung assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses, contributions, and distribution to owners, tsaka yung cash flows. For a complete set of financial statements, consist of, first, yung statement of financial position. Makikita mo dito yung mga real accounts, which are assets, liability, and equity. Second, yung statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Dito yung revenue or income and expense, which are the nominal accounts. Pang-third, yung statement of changes in equity. Makikita mo naman dyan yung equity section. May withdrawal ba, investment, and etc. Pang-apat, ito naman yung statement of cash flow. Pang-lima, yung notes are the additional information na dinisclose mo or need i-disclose. Panghuli, yung additional statement of financial position required only when certain instances occur. Dito yung general features of financial statements. So, familiar na tayo dito. First is yung fair presentation and compliance with PFRS, going concern, accrual basis, materiality aggregation, offsetting, frequency of reporting, comparative information, and the consistency of presentation. So, konting recap lang. For fair presentation and compliance with PFRS, na natukoy na rin naman to sa mga past lessons natin. Ibig sabihin, there is a fair presentation kapag it is presented in accordance sa recognition criteria ng asset, liability, expense, at income given by conceptual framework. Ibig sabihin, tama, kompleto, at saka comparable siya. Walang fallacy sa pinepresent or hindi mo nililimit yung dapat malaman ng users. So, ito lang yung mga time na yung NTP is permitted to depart sa standard. First, in extremely rare circumstances, compliance with the standard would be misleading kapag departure is necessary to achieve fair presentation, and lastly, when conceptual framework requires or otherwise does not prohibit such a departure. These things ay kailangan i-disclose sa notes ng financial statements. Yung management's conclusions as to the fair presentation of the financial statements, that all other requirements of the PFRS are complied with, title of the PFRS from which the entity has departed, and the financial effect of the departure. So, going concern, it is just stating that the company will be operating continuously. So, yung FS na need to be presented in a way na magko-continue yung business. If merong tendencies or uncertainty na magko-close or mag-liquidate na yung firm, it shall be disclosed. Accrual basis, nire-record yung revenues kung kailan mo na-recognize, hindi kung kailan mo na-receive ang cash or yung payment. Then yung expense naman, nire-record siya kung kailan mo na-incurred, hindi kung kailan mo binayaran. So ano ba yung sinasabi nilang aggregation? Sinasabi lang nito na yung similar item or yung mga line item must be separated or presented separately sa financial statement. Yung dissimilar items naman, presented siya separately if they are immaterial. So, ano naman yung sinasabi na material? Nagiging material siya if non-disclosure of the information could influence the economic decision of users ng financial statement. Factors ng materiality is the relative size, kasi merong mga bagay na material sa isang company pero immaterial for the other. Second is the nature of the item. Example of this materiality, nawalan ng 10,000 pesos sa company, di ba? If yung company mo is malaking company na which is kumikita ng milyong-milyon, probably this will be immaterial. Pero kung company mo nawalan ng 10,000 pero ang kinikita lang is 15,000, the amount will be material and shall be disclosed. Sa offsetting naman, there are certain guidelines na nilabas ng PFRS. Hindi mo pwedeng i-offset basta-basta yung assets, liab, income, and other expenses unless masusunod yung mga permissions ng PFRS. Okay, so dito alam na natin to, kaya nga hindi na natin makakalimutan yung December 31 every year. Ang standard na frequency ng reporting is at least annually. If nagkaroon ng changes sa period ng reporting, kailangan mong i-disclose yung period na covered ng FS. Yung reason kung bakit umikli or humaba yung reporting period, dapat i-state mo na yung amounts presented sa current reporting period at saka yung amount na presented sa mga nakaraan na reporting period that are not comparable due to the subsequent changes in frequency of reporting. So dito, it shall disclose the comparative information which are presented and comparable to the one or more accounting periods with respect to the applicable financial reporting framework. Yung third statement of financial position, required lang siya if applies accounting policies retrospectively, makes retrospective restatement, reclassifies items in the FS. Due to the requirements, you need to present the restatement of financial position sa end ng current period, end of previous period, at sa simula ng earliest comparative period. Okay, so dito, there must be uniform basis sa bawat methods or practice na ginagamit mo sa bawat reporting period unless i-require ng PFRS or yung pagpapalit ng method will result sa reliable and relevant information. Example, yung paggamit ng double declining method sa depreciation. If you found out that na mas fit at mas reliable yung straight line basis, you can still change it as long as i-disclose mo. Okay, so ito naman yung structure and content ng financial statements. Familiar na tayo dito. So, una, yung name ng reporting entity indicating the financial statement pertains to a group. So, kagaya nito, yung PMC group. Yan. Tapos, lalagay mo statement of financial position as of December 31, 20x2. Yan yung date of the end of the reporting period. And yung in thousand of Philippine pesos, yung level of rounding off and presentation ng currency. Dito naman yung responsibility for the FS. So, yung management, siya yung nagpe-prepare and nagpe-present ng financial statement. Yung BOD naman, yung magre-review at mag-authorize to issue ng financial statement. And lastly, yung shareholders naman, sila yung magiging basis if the information presented sa financial statement is relevant. Okay, so dito, yung financial position, it contains only the real accounts, which are the assets, liability, and equity. Pinapakita niya yung liquidity, which means the ability to meet currently maturing obligations. Also, the solvency, the ability of cash over the longer term to meet maturing obligations ng isang entity. So, there are two ways to present the financial position. Una, yung classified. Nakahiwala yung current asset sa non-current asset. Ibig sabihin, nakabase sa kung saan siya naka-classify. Whether asset, current or none, liabilities, current or none, and syempre yung equity. Pangalawa, yung unclassified. If nakabase sa liquidity niya. So dito, review naman tayo ng balance sheet elements. Una, yung assets. Alam na natin yan. These are the resources na merong control ang company which will bring future economic benefits. Pangalawa, yung liabilities. Obligation ng entity na mag-require for them to give up resources. And lastly, yung equity, which is the asset less liability. We all know this. This is the basic accounting equation. Asset equals liabilities plus equity. Pero sa financial position, it is presented like current asset tsaka yung non-current asset is equals to current liabilities and non-current liabilities plus the capital. Dito, current asset which are expected to be realized within 12 months after their reporting period. Ito rin yung expected to be realized when sold or consumed in the entity's normal operating cycle. Example nito, syempre yung cash, accounts receivable, inventories, prepaid expenses, held for trading securities, office and store supplies. Non-current asset, all other assets that are not current shall be classified as non-current asset. And also, it is expected to be realized more than 12 months. Examples are PPE, non-trade receivables collectible beyond 12 months, investment in associate, investment in property, intangible assets, and the deferred tax asset.
Okay, so let's have this illustration kung paano makuha yung current asset, how much is the non-current asset, and how much is the total asset. For the solution, ayan, makikita natin dyan yung mga naka-blue na highlights, yung mga current asset. Kapag tinotal mo sila, yung makukuha mo, 7,939,000. For the non-current asset, yung may green na highlight, yan yung mga non-current asset. Yung makukuha mo ay 20,620,690. And kapag pinag-add mo yung dalawa, yung current asset at saka yung non-current asset, ang makukuha mong total asset ay 28,559,690.
Okay, kapag current, tandaan natin, current liabilities, same din, it is due to be settled within 12 months after the reporting period, expected to be settled in an entity's normal operating cycle. Ang example naman nito, yung accounts payable, short-term notes payable, salaries payable, unearned revenue, dividends payable, income, or current tax payable. Okay, so kung hindi siya current liabilities, so ito ay non-current liable. All other liabilities that are not current shall be classified as non-current liabilities. Portion of notes, loans, bonds payable due beyond 12 months, and also the deferred tax liability.
Okay, so same with the current asset, kung paano natin siya kinuha. So dito, how much is the current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and also the total liability. Yung mga naka yellow or mustard highlight, yan, yung current liabilities, which is 2,598,440 kapag tinotal mo sila. Yan yung mga accruals, current income tax payable, short-term notes payable, and then the trade and other payable. Yung current liabilities naman, yung may mga pink highlights, which is yung bonds payable, long-term notes, other non-current liabilities. Ang total niyan ay 7,750,000. Kapag pinag-add mo silang dalawa, si current liabilities at si non-current liabilities, ang magiging total liabilities mo ay 10,348,440.
Dito naman, sabi, meron daw dalawang form ng balance sheet or ng financial position, which is yung account form and report form. Kapag sinabi nating account form, ganito yung itsura niya. So, credits po sa picture nito, sa accounting course, para mas may mapakita akong example for my reporting. Okay, so dito, nakalagay dito yung account form. Ibig sabihin, ang itsura niyan ay asset na nandito sa debit side, at yung liabilities tsaka owner equity ay nandito naman sa credit side. Kapag report form naman, simple lang, ganito siya. Para siyang isang haba mo siya i-represent. Yung assets, magkakasunod yan, assets, liability, owner's equity. Sa asset, nandyan yung current asset, tapos non-current asset, liabilities, current liab, tapos non-current liab, and then yung owner's equity.
Thank you so much. That's all for today. Thank you and God bless us all.